Hey guys, welcome to Functional Print Friday. If you like design and using 3D printing to solve real world problems and not just printing trinkets, this channel's for you. So when I thought about what I wanted to feature this week, I remembered that there's actually some 3D prints underneath this truck. When I bought this truck, it had a set of tube steps on the side. It came new that way from Toyota, and I'm just not a fan. I know it's a matter of personal preference, but I don't like the look of the tube steps on the side. I prefer the clean look like this. I know some folks say they keep them on to prevent door dings. That really depends on the shape of the door, the person that parks next to you anyway. And I was just constantly knocking my ankles on these things. So I took them off, and when I did, I found I had a bunch of empty M8 by 1.25 bolt holes on the underside of the truck. And I thought about just putting those bolts back in, maybe with some blue Loctite to try and seal things up. But I was really worried about rust in the future. I love my Toyota trucks, but they are notorious for having rust issues later on in life, and I didn't want to do anything to potentially encourage that. So I designed some plugs, just simple plugs out of TPU, and put them in place with some silicone to fill up those bolt holes. So let me get my creeper, and we'll get underneath this truck, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hello? What are you guys doing underneath my printer? How did you even get in there? You know, you could just hit the subscribe button and you'll get a notification, or I'll show up in your feed when I put a new video out. You don't have to be all creepy underneath my printer. Come on guys, really? At least hit the like button. One nice thing about having a taller vehicle, you don't even need a jack or a lift to get underneath the thing. I just rolled right under. So these holes, if I recall, yeah, there's two back there. There is two in the center, and there is two up there in the front, I think. Yep, that is, set the light down. That is here, here, here and here, and then two back here. So this is the rear of the vehicle. That's the front of the vehicle up in that direction. And this is another one of the reasons that I'm really not a big fan of leaving the tube steps on these trucks, is because they mount to this is the cab of the vehicle. Those bolts are going into the cab. They're not going into the frame. So if you take this thing off road and you end up on that tube step, you're transferring all that energy to the cab, not to the frame. So we'll take a look at these two in the center, since they're probably the easiest to see. Move our light over, and you can see that really what we just have here is two very simple TPU plugs. And this is actually the first I've looked at these since I put them in. See, I bought this truck new in January of 2020, and I put these in, I think, February of 2020. And they look in perfect condition. They're still pliable, and they still look like they're sealed up. What I did was I printed these to be just kind of a slight interference fit to the threads of the inside of the hole. And then on the head part, I just squeezed some silicone out of a caulk tube, and then pressed these into place. And I think I just put some tape over them to hold them in place until the silicone dried. And yeah, they're all looking sealed up just perfect. Just like everything I feature on this channel, the STLs will be available for these. There'll be a link to my site down in the description of this video. It is fpfdesigns.com. Let's go take a look at the design for these. All right, guys, and here is the incredibly complex design for this. You can see it is pretty simple. The OD here, basically just a tight interference fit with the threads on those M8 holes on the truck. Top is tapered so that it goes into those holes easily. Nice large flat surface here facilitates plenty of room for spreading that silicone caulk on to keep this guy in place. I would not put any silicone caulk in the bolt holes or on this shaft here, just in case you do want to reuse this in the future. By spreading the caulk just here, you should be able to pry under these and pull these out pretty easily if you do want to put a set of tube steps or something else in those holes in the future. And we have a taper here as well. Just so that nothing catches on this underneath the truck, and from an aesthetics perspective as well. So as I mentioned, the STL will be available for this completely free, fpfdesigns.com. As anything that I review on this channel or anything that I cover on this channel, the STLs are always free. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider hitting that like button, hit the subscribe button. I publish a new video like this every single week. It comes out on Friday. And guys, if you do subscribe, I will see you next Friday.